The premise is that everything that we shall see, considering that they are scientists, is based on solid scientific foundations. It started with the quote, "What are we, if not what we think? What are we, if not our thoughts, our history?" And then he went on to say that our life is based on our history. So if we can change our story, our history, we can change our life. And if each and every one of us were able to become aware of this, then we could change the whole planet. There are cycles in everything. Today there are converging cycles which are determining certain changes, important changes. The first cycle concerns the climate. But he went on to explain that we are not the cause of climate change, but we have contributed to it. This is something which occurs periodically, regardless of our will. The same is true for economics. Going along like this will not be sustainable for the planet, and there are conflicts, and often one has to go through these cycles in order to go to a new level of balance, a new equilibrium. As a matter of fact, the step we shall be taking is that of a transition going from chaos to a new global order. But first we have to go through confusion, a stage of confusion. And so semantics is the science that studies waves. The greater the frequency of a system increases, the greater the pattern which emerges from these semantic studies become more complex. And in going from one more simple pattern to a more complex pattern, there is chaos in the middle. And so whenever we increase our frequencies, there is an increase in the complexity of our internal pattern. He went on then to discuss about resources such as food, energy, of which we have a great need, are already available and have been available for years. But what has to change? Because you might wonder, where are they? Where are these resources? There are people who are hungry, people that don't have enough food. So we have to change our way of thinking, and we have to adapt to the discoveries that have been made. What are these discoveries? The first is that the brain has an autonomous heart. In the heart we have neurons as well. We have to become aware of this, and we realize this whenever something negative happens, when we experience a drama. We've all experienced this, and this is also true when we experience something beautiful. There is also a system within us. We used to think that the brain was the most important organ, but in fact there is a system. Indeed, a system which enables a communication in harmony between the heart and the brain. Another major discovery is that our planet has a magnetic field. And if we can bring our frequency to 0.1 hertz, we align with the whole planet. The most interesting thing here, what emerges from scientific research, that each part of our body is linked to all the other parts of the body. So he gave the example, the fact that when we think that we are taking a drug that impacts one aspect, it in fact has an impact on all the other parts of our body. Each part of our body is interconnected with all the others. It's important to understand this, because if we can align heart with brain, all our body will be totally aligned in harmony with the planet in which we live. What is the strategy for this alignment? First thing is to shift our focus. Where instead of being focused on our brain, we have to focus on our heart. Start from the heart and then go to the brain. And then breathe more slowly. When we breathe more deeply and slowly, the message that our mind receives is that we are safe. And this makes us feel better. This gives us many, many benefits. We have to create the emotion. the positive emotion. We usually react to things and feel the emotions subsequently. We can choose our emotions based on what we choose to bring our focus to. And the emotions that have been suggested are positive emotions such as gratitude, recognition, and caring. These were the key concepts of this first session, and this was the mind map of this first session.